Sawati Sabaidi, how all of thee? Right, got to do your border run in Thailand. Which border do you use? Well, it's Friendship Bridge number 2, I think it is, between SAVANNKHET and Mukdahan. I'll see if I can zoom in for you. Yeah, you see it there in the distance. Friendship Bridge number 2. Joining Mukdahan, the Thailand side, to the Laos side of SAVANNKHET. This is probably one of the best places to stay for a number of reasons. There is other hotels that are on the Mekong River, like this is, but they're further down near the walking, riverside walking area. So there's a road between, so there's the walking area along the promenade, and then there's parks and temples and other things, then there's a road, and then the hotels are on the other side. Here there is no in between, they are on the banks of the river, so there is no road. So if there's no road, there's no motorbikes. It's nice and quiet. I might get a copyright warning for the music, so I'll move away from the speakers. But yeah, it's nice to come down here. Got a lovely restaurant, lots of choice of Western food, Indian food, Thai food, Lao food. The rooms are nice. Looks like they've been chopping branches down and chucking them over the side by the looks of it. Hope no one chucks a fag over there and the whole lot bloody goes up in smoke. This decking won't last 5 minutes. But yeah, the bridge there, you can see it in the distance. That's your border crossing. So if you're going to come and stay in SAVANNKHET, this is, I'd say, probably the number 1 spot. There's newer, more luxurious hotels to stay at, but this one, like I say, it's right on the river. So the evening time, you come down and see the most magnificent sunsets over Thailand. The sunset in Mukdahan is, well, there is no sunset in Mukdahan because the sunset is over near that mountain going that way. So you go chill out in Mukdahan along their riverside, which isn't as good, it isn't as long. There's lots of market stalls, and that's about it. There's not really lots of restaurants, and there's not really that many hotels. There is hotels in Mukdahan, but not many, because most people are travelling through, and getting the border crossing done and then going back. So it's not, Mukdahan's not really a very touristy place. You do have some Lao people go holiday there, I think, or just go shopping for the day, because Lao people and Thai people don't need passports to travel between the two countries. So yeah, if you meet a Thai lady and she says, oh, she wants to go to Laos and she wants money for a passport, she's having you on. But Thai people don't need a passport to come to Thailand, to Laos, and Lao people, I don't think, need a passport to go to Thailand either. It's only for short stays. I think maximum, like 14 days or something. So yeah, they have to obviously have ID. Stop, Jane. Yeah, they have to have ID though, obviously, to be able to do that, which I'm sure most people do, have some sort of ID. So yeah, Mukdahan is one of those places you just travel through normally, you don't normally stay. But here is SAVANNKHET, and that's another point. When you're coming over doing your border runs, you might be tempted to just turn on your heels and literally just go back into Thailand, which you can do, but expect problems. It's not good for the economy for Laos or for Thailand for you to do that. Would it say it's looked down upon, frowned upon? Not particularly, no. But if you're going to do your border run, at least stay for like a minimum of 1 night, minimum, absolute bare minimum. You want to stay 1 night at least, any of the borders that you use, even if it's the other side's not particularly your cup of tea, or choose a border that is your cup of tea, like SAVANNKHET. I mean, it's like any place. It has its, there is some not so nice aspects of the city. Um, and if I'll be honest with you, since I was here last year, it's got worse. People just holding their hand out, expecting you to just hand them money. They don't realise that I spent nearly 6 months in this city last year, so I know all the faces of who's actually homeless and who's not. Um, and it's got to the stage this time that you got school kids who are in school uniforms translating on their mobile phones, "Can I have some money?" You know, if that was in England, I'd tell the little snot to sell his mobile phone that he's translating on, go to cash converters and get, exchange his phone for some money. It's I think though, because they laughed, it was like teenage kids, 14, 15. They laughed and giggled. There was a big group of them, so um, I just told him it wasn't particularly nice to ask people for money. Um, and like I say, he was definitely not a homeless kid because he was in the school uniform. So yeah, the begging side of things, expecting you to just hand money over because it's a poor country, but it's not a particularly poor country. There's lots of money in Laos. Um, yes, it is poor in the grand scheme of things when you put other countries against it, but it's not a particularly poor country when you compare it to likes of India and Africa and places like that. It's nowhere near as poor as those places. There's lots of nice cars, lots of nice houses, lots of nice restaurants, lots of infrastructure, airports and all the rest of it. So it's not a poor country by any imagination at all. So don't feel obliged to be handing your hard-earned money over to people that have just got their hand out for no other reason than they think you're a sucker. That's what they're doing. They don't need the money. They just see you as a sucker. Yeah, that's just going to hand them money because you think they're poor. Get that out of that mindset, and you won't be giving your money away like I have done. Like I say, I know all the faces in SAVANNKHET, so I don't do it here. I know who's genuinely on the streets and who's not. I know who are the alcoholics and who's not. So I give my money to people. I'm not going to help an old man with his drinking his whiskey every day. So he gets told abruptly to do one. So yeah, that is the only kind of downside to SAVANNKHET. Didn't experience it in Paksay or Vientiane, but I think it's because here in SAVANNKHET it's quite a small, narrow riverside, so you're almost forced into that particular area whilst you're staying here. So they know if you're coming here to visit, that you're going to go to that area 100%. Which is like the night market area and around there. It's not like it's just all politeness, obviously, isn't it? Don't take offence to it too much. But I have noticed that it has increased, and I've only been here so far less than 24 hours, and I must have had one, two, three, four, five, almost 10 people. All right, 2 of those times was the same person. He's probably so pissed he can't remember. He asked me yesterday, and I told him to go take a running jump. So yeah, it's worse than it. And the thing is, the one kid that I was actually hoping to see, he's only about 7 or 8. He's got loads of scars on the top of his head. I haven't seen him this time, and he's the only kind of genuine one. But he's the pisshead old man in the town. I think is his guardian of some sort, or at least he's taken under his wing. So they work in conjunction with each other. The little kid I know has been exploited and his money's been taken off of him by this older homeless man, drunk. But yeah, I haven't seen the young lad this time. All my friends that I made here last year all got to meet him, and whenever I speak to them, they ask about him. I can't give them an update this time. I haven't seen him. He wasn't around the night market last night, so maybe social services or someone has gotten involved, because I believe they have tried in the past, but he's got mental health problems apparently. He's a bit unruly, so the word is from the locals. But anyway, yeah, nice spotter. That's it. I'll do you for today. Like, share, subscribe.